Welcome back to the Cognitive Athlete Podcast. I'm your host, Clint Ray, high performance coach, speaker, and author of The Cognitive Athlete. Congratulations! And this is week 10. This is the final episode of this training cycle. Congrats! Before we go any further, just take a moment to recognize your achievement. If you've been listening through this series, you've just completed a 10-week cognitive training block. Not by accident, not by just getting through work, but by starting to think differently about performance. Let's dive into it. Over the past 10 weeks, we've covered a lot, not as separate ideas, but as a system. We started with motivation and why it doesn't last. We looked at energy and how it actually drives performance. We've talked about structuring your year instead of running flat out. We rebuilt focus. We challenged the idea of the perfect routine. We looked at capacity, stress, decision fatigue, and last week, recovery. And if you zoom out, what all of this really is about is this. Performance is not about pushing harder. It's about managing how you show up. So let's pull out what this cycle has actually taught you. Number 1, performance is structured, not random. High performance isn't something you fall into, it's something that you design. The people who perform consistently are not more motivated, they're more structured. They know when they need to be at their best and they build around that. Number 2, the brain is the constraint. Not time, not effort, not even skill. It's the brain. Energy drops, focus shifts, decision quality declines. Ignore that and you work harder for worse results. Respect it and performance becomes consistent. Number 3, recovery is the unlock. Recovery isn't what you do when you're done. It's what allows you to go again. Think about the examples that we've covered. That difficult conversation, going straight into another meeting, carrying the load, versus stepping away, resetting, coming back clear. Same person, completely different performance. Number 4, most people never reset. Most people stay in the same cycle, same pace, same habits, same fatigue. They never step back, they never adjust, they never reset the system. And over time, they get the same results. But this is where you do something different. Right now, you're at the end of a cycle. And in any high performance environment, this is where you taper. You don't just keep pushing. You don't roll straight into the next block. You step off deliberately. Over the next couple of weeks, we move into a recovery phase. Not accidental, not doing nothing, but intentional. This is where you reset your energy, let your system settle, and create space again. If you don't recover, you carry fatigue into the next cycle. But if you recover properly, you start the next cycle stronger, clearer, and sharper. Here is the reset plan. We're going to keep this really simple. Over the next 2 weeks, I want you to reduce your load where you can. Step away from constant input. Spend more time outside. Create space in your day. Let your brain actually switch off. This isn't losing momentum. This is rebuilding capacity. And then we go again into the next 10-week cycle, but this time with more awareness, more structure, with better decisions. Because now you understand something most people don't. That performance isn't about doing more. It's about knowing when to build, when to push, and when to step back. Okay, let's round this up. The best performers are not the ones who stay on all the time. They're the ones who understand when to step in and when to step away, because that's what allows them to show up again at their best. You don't need more effort, you need a cycle, and this is the end of one. If you've been with me across this series, great job. You've just completed a full cognitive training cycle. I'm going to take a short break over the next couple of weeks to reset, recharge, and rebuild, and then come back into the next phase. If this episode or series has resonated with you and you're thinking, man, I need to apply this properly, I've got a small number of spots available for the next 10-week training cycle where I work directly with leaders to design their performance system. If that's something you're interested in, head over to the website and book a time to connect, and we'll see if it's a good fit. If you found value in the podcast, hit follow or subscribe. It helps grow the show and get it in front of people who need it the most. And if someone comes to mind while you're listening, share it with them. Because this is what most people don't realize. Recovery isn't a reward, it's a performance tool. And the people who use it well, they're the ones who keep performing. I'll see you in the next series.